Hello, I don't know if you're planning on taking a trip to Italy anytime soon, but I have 5 tips for you of things that you can expect or maybe not expect when staying at a hotel in Italy. Now, if you are going to be staying at a tourist destination with a high-end hotel, maybe a chain just like in the United States, I won't mention them, we all know who they are, probably life will be pretty similar to how it is in the United States. But if you are going to be going to a place that has more of the authentic feel, smaller towns in Italy, boutique hotels, small hotels that are owned by families, there will be some differences that will really change your experience, but it will change the experience for the better. Who wants to go somewhere and feel like you're just in the same place as home? But there are 5 things that you want to remember. I am Carol Amendola Dianca, the Italian nutritionist who has been traveling to Italy for years, and I want to pass on to you some of the things that I have learned. If you like what you are hearing and what you're learning, please subscribe so that I can send more content to you and to the rest of the world that is really going to be helpful. So, tip number 1, for ladies especially, hair dryers. There are hair dryers in the hotel rooms, even in the smaller boutique hotels, and they will dry your hair. They're not the same as a Dyson or a high-end hair dryer, but my recommendation is to leave the hair dryer that you have at home, because even with an adapter to make the adaptation for the electricity, your hair dryer is not going to work the same. Plus it's heavy, it's big, it takes up room in your suitcase, so I would say just leave the hair dryer at home and use the hair dryer in the hotel. Might take you a little bit longer, but it'll work out just fine. The other thing is irons. You know, I have traveled extensively throughout Europe, and I've never found an iron or an ironing board in a hotel room. So make sure that you roll your clothes, or you bring clothes that are not easily wrinkled, or if you're willing to have the hotel press your clothes, they will do that, but you won't likely find an iron and an ironing board in a hotel in authentic Italy. I don't even know in the larger chain hotels. I've been into a few and I've never seen an iron or an ironing board. The other thing is, at the hotel, they will take your laundry, they will do your laundry, they will press it beautifully. It's not necessarily cheap, but they will do it for you, and so you can have fresh laundry that way. But again, don't plan on ironing your clothes when you get to the hotel, because there won't be an iron or ironing board. Okay, the third thing I want to mention is about breakfast. I've had travelers come with me to complain about the breakfast, like they just didn't think it was like home, and it won't be. Italians really are not big on breakfast. They'll have a little pastry and a cappuccino or even an espresso, and that's pretty much it. They call it a cornetto or a biscotti in the morning. Probably one of the reasons for that is because they have a late dinner, and so they're still digesting their dinner first thing in the morning. So the breakfast was not going to be bacon and eggs and scrambled eggs and some of the and a lot of meats, but it will have prosciutto, it will have some salami, it'll have fruits, there will be plenty of coffee there, but don't expect it, unless again you are staying in a chain high-end hotel, that it's going to be the same that it is in the United States. The other thing, while we're talking about food, is room service. There's little room service. You can go down to the lobby if you need an extra cup of coffee or something, but generally at hotels, especially hotels that do half board and they'll do breakfast and dinner sometimes, they will make those meals and then everything gets put away, and it's not brought out, and it's not necessarily brought up to your room. If there's an emergency, you could probably find someone at the hotel that could bring you something up, but plan on, if you need that extra something to eat later, picking it up at a grocery store, at a small market, and having it in your room. And there's not a lot of, also I've not seen a lot of the mini bars, as they're called. So sometimes they'll have a mini bar and many times they will not. And then while we're talking about being comfortable at the hotel, just also plan that the bedding is different. That is tip number 5. The bedding is not going to be pillow top. It's not going to be big fluffy pillows, most likely, in the hotels that are typical in Italy or in smaller cities. They will be comfortable. Sheets will be clean, the pillows may not be as thick, and the size of the bed is different. Europeans and Italians are smaller than Americans, so there's no such thing as California King. They're not going to be converting the bedrooms and the beds to California King necessarily anytime soon. So make sure that you are prepared for that. The bed itself is a little smaller. You can put 2 beds together if you need California King. Let the hotel know ahead of time. So those are the 5 things: hair dryers, iron, breakfast, room service, and bedding. And these are things to keep in mind to make your trip even more memorable and more authentic. And again, please subscribe. If you have any questions, put it in the description below. I always look for questions and I always answer them. And hope to see you soon with some more tips. Thanks so much.